Hello everyone, and welcome to Toy Talk. Today I'm going to be showing you a tour of my Simpsons village. This is a requested video that a couple people have asked for, so I'm going to do this so that you guys can see this up close and personal. So first of all, I'm going to try to give you an overview of the village, and then we'll talk about some individual parts. And hopefully the lighting is pretty good. Looks like it to me. Now this Simpsons Village, by the way, for those who don't know, this was made by a company called Playmates. And I believe they're still around, but I don't know exactly what they're producing at this point. But these were in the 90s mostly. And there were all kinds of figures and then these play sets that you see. So let's start with this one here. And you see that this is the Quickie Mart. And you have Apu, and then I just so happen to have Smithers and Mr. Burns in here. Now let me try to show you a closer view of some of these. So here's Mr. Smithers. And these are, 3D, obviously. So, we're used to seeing them as 2D on the show, but in this case, they're 3D. Now, by the way, each of these has a button on them that does different things. And there goes Mr. Smithers, took a dive. But, it depends who goes with that set and what it says, but there's all kinds of different things that each one has at least a couple phrases. Now here you have Milhouse's parents and the Springfield DMV, and this is, I don't know what they called him, obese Homer, when he, in one episode, had gained a huge amount of weight and had to wear a muumuu like that. And then I never remember, honestly, which sister is which on Marge's sisters, Patty and Selma. So I'm not sure which one that is. But we'll just say that's Selma. And, I think that, I can't remember if they both work at the DMV or just the one. And then you have the bowling alley, which Apu got a bowling team shirt. So there's actually, I didn't get all of the figures, there were so many, but I got this one. It came with, I believe it might have come with this one, because one figure came with each set. And then this is, of course, Lenny and Carl. And let me not step on Mr. Smithers as I move down here. You've got the Moe's Tavern, and let me see if it... Well, that's not too interesting. It's just like beer pouring or something. Moe and, I think it's Carl. No, that's not Carl. I forget that policeman's name. And the bus driver from the school. And then you have the comic book store, or I do. And this is Wiggum, Ralph Wiggum. And I don't know if this guy has a name, but one of the bullies or one of the weirdos in the school or the town. And, of course, comic book guy who is rather big himself. And, this is a pretty detailed set. A lot of them are. That's one of the reasons I really like these sets. I mean, they're just great. And, every so often I take all these figures off, dust everything really good, because they do get dusty, obviously. And then I put them all back and rearrange different ones in different places. Krusty Lou's studio with Krusty himself, and I don't know this guy's name. I forget. I watch The Simpsons all the time, but they don't say their names a lot. So, and I didn't watch it in the beginning, so that part of the reason too, I think. Now here we have Flanders, and he's at the church. Some of them, by the way, early on the glasses were loose, like this one. And then later they realized that was a problem, and it was probably also a choking hazard. So they made the glasses stay on, like with Milhouse's parents, I believe. Reverend Lovejoy, and I think his wife's name is Helen Lovejoy. And so here you see and obviously they move. But if you put them on there, and I'm not going to try to do that with one hand, but it'll...
Be afraid also, tremendously afraid, for the day of reckoning is upon us.
Well, that one was rather long. You got the courthouse back here with the judge that's always there. And then this Captain Seahook guy. That's my name for him. And the police station with Chief Wiggum and his two main deputies here. I swear this one reminds me of a Sesame Street guy. And you got this guy that's always pulling a gun on people. So I've got him actually pulling a gun in the courtroom or in the police station. Take your pick. And the doctor. There's the doctor. And then over here we have, I'm going to try to get my shadow out of there. It's just the mayor in an outdoor scene giving a speech. And, he's a very corrupt mayor. And you just got some other townspeople here. This one, by the way, has always reminded me, I think this is Professor Fink. It's always reminded me of Jerry Lewis. Maybe that's what it was modeled after. Got this guy here. And then what I did in the middle is I've got the lunch counter, or not lunch counter, but the lunchroom from the school with the lunch lady, Doris, or I think that's her name. And then I've got all these kids lined up. So Millhouse and Lisa and the exchange student and the twins and so on and so on. They're lined up for lunch. Behind them is the retirement home, Springfield retirement home with, Abe is there and his buddy there. And you've got a nurse in the background on the side there. But yeah, these are just such wonderful play sets. I really love them. I don't remember how much they ran at the time, but Superintendent Chalmers, I think is his name. Also Edna Krabappel, which unfortunately we haven't seen a lot of her since the actress died that played, oh gosh, what is her name? But she was on whatever that was, Newhart, the new Bob Newhart show. And then also Match Game a lot. Flanders' two sons are here. She's got a lot of little loose pieces, by the way, including this little fish tank with the three-eyed fish in it. It's really cool. And then Principal Skinner is there. Okay, and then down here we have the actual Simpson home, or at least part of it. So we have the kitchen with Marge, and I think we said the one with Selma, so this would be Patty. And there's Maggie on the couch. And the living room, you got the TV. I want to show you guys the TV with Itchy and Scratchy on it. Which those were characters you could buy. I didn't buy those. There's so many. I didn't buy all of them. And then there's Obese Homer again. I have two of those. And this one he doesn't have the hat on, but he's in the kitchen, of course. So I have two kitchen play sets and a living room. That's why there's two. There was also Homer's power plant set, one of the first ones, I believe, where he works, of course, but I never got that one. And there's also a Burns Manor one. I know that. I do have that one. It's one of the only ones I have in the box. And I think I have one other one, which is the arcade or something with Jimbo. But, I just don't have room for all of those. So I left those two in the box, is the way I recall. I know I have the Burns Manor one. So, anyway, oops, I stepped on Smithers. I hope he's okay. I knew I'd do that. A couple other I want to show you. Bart on the skateboard here. I don't know if there was a Bart that wasn't on the skateboard. This doesn't actually go in this set, but my brother gave it to me. The dog and their cat. Fluffy, I think her name is. And then last but not least is Marge when she joined the police force for a little bit. So, anyway, this is an overall shot of the Springfield Village, and I hope you've enjoyed this tour. Talk to you later. Bye.